Hey guys, so today I'm gonna react to a video from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. This was from 3 weeks ago. They found a new deep sea snailfish species. So I just thought that was interesting. I believe this is the new deep sea snailfish species. So I was interested anytime we can find new species. I find that very cool. It's a new discovery, new thing we can talk about in biology. So why not? It is kind of cute too. Look at the eyes too. Very blue and kind of big too. Interesting. And the shape of the tail too. It's very interesting. Not sure if these. I don't think these are necessarily sharp, but looks interesting. Yeah, the fins are really cool. The deep sea species, honestly, they're some of the most interesting species on the planet Earth, and I find them really fascinating, along with insects. I always like to know more and more about them, as we don't get enough documentaries that really talks about deep sea species. Besides some older ones that we've seen that were good, I've seen pretty much all of them at this point. But it'd be nice to see more animal documentaries about marine species and really go deep underwater. Like we have some record videos a bit of how giant squids hunt, for instance, to a certain extent. It would be cool to see how colossal squids hunt and be able to really deeply see how they do and be able to see more live at the moment. But I know it's very difficult and most of the money is not going to this technology to be able to research these deep sea uh, species in the ocean. That sucks because I would love to know more about them, but it's not a money maker per se. For a lot of millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires, they don't really care about this, so they won't fund that. And when you have a government controlled by people who don't care about science, you're not going to receive much funding in that because to them it doesn't make a profit, even though that's not how the government should run. It's supposed to be a private service, not something making a profit out of it. So it kind of sucks, but I'm hoping we can see more of this as time goes on because it would be nice to see more research about the deep sea and all species like insects, and we can find more and more and actually learn about them. And you never know what we learn from these new species could benefit us as a species too, as we are animals too. And as animals, we need to make sure the environment healthy because if the habitats we go in each environment is unhealthy, it's too hot, too cold, not enough food sources, not enough clean water, we're not gonna do well either. So you want to have clean air. You want to make sure that the water is not polluted, the environment itself, the habitat is not polluted. It's a lot of work, and I know right now with the whole situation with depending who's the current leader of the country, they don't really care about green energy. So it's a whole lot of shit. But I guess we'll see how things go in the next decade or so. I can assume the little things that look like this probably could be little shrimps and all the deep sea creatures, but maybe little shrimps, maybe little snailfish species potentially, like probably little shrimps I would guess, maybe squids, like really tiny over here. That's probably what it is around the snailfish. Could also be pieces of like body pieces from species that die on the surface of the ocean, potentially going downwards, and they could consume that too. But it's probably a lot of little smaller species they're consuming. Very cool. I like that. I did find the snails species really cute. To me anyway. I find it cute. I like the eyes and everything is interesting. I'm happy they found it. I'm not complaining about that. I'm gonna read the description and like the video. I'm gonna subscribe to them too because these things are very interesting to me. Let me see if there's any more subscription or more. So they have a website. I could check that out later. Research publication. Okay, cool. So they also had the research publication. I think I'm gonna put this in my description. So there's a research about it and this website. I'm gonna put those two links also in my description so you guys can check it out. Make sure you subscribe to them and like the video as well. But yeah, that's gonna be my plan. And I'm gonna also again put the actual published peer review journal in my description and the official website from the YouTube channel here, so that if you guys want to look more in detail about it, want to learn more about this, read the peer review journal. That's always worthwhile to do. I know it can be complicated to understand every little terminology, but we have AI, we have many ways to understand these things nowadays to translate and make things more plain language. For us who, such as myself, is are not an expert in this field, obviously. We're not marine biologists, everyone who's watching this video. My bachelor's degree is in criminal justice. I have a master's degree in public administration. I've been an investigator for my state, for my specific state department for 6 years. Some type of investigator for the last 6 years. So that's this is not my field expertise at all. But I find it very interesting. I'm very much into science. I take my vaccines regularly, like the flu and COVID shot every year. I'm doing another round of some other vaccine they can do every 10 years. I think it was the I can't remember right now. I had to check in my calendar, but I do updates like certain like tetanus shot you can do every 10 years. So some certain vaccines that I recommend to do every 10 years, I also do them. Especially now that you don't know if it's still gonna be covered, I do them. But anyway, as someone who's an avid science enthusiast, not an expert, but I'm interested in it. I go to museums in my state all the time, outside my state. When I visit other countries, my wife and I go to certain museums too. Art museums, but also science museums. Really big fan of science museums the most. So that's more my thing, especially when it has fossils, but also like technology. I like to see the evolution of technology, like from the first computer to the current one, from the first cell phone to the current one, first phone to the current one, which is really now a cell phone, really. But it's cool to see prior to the cell phone, see the evolution of it. But I do find this interesting, and we can learn more about the evolution of snailfish, and in particular how marine life is surviving nowadays, considering the whole climate change and pollution situation. So it'll be interesting to see how they're adapting to those conditions. But let me know in the comment section below if you find this snailfish cute, and if you find this interesting about this new species, and if you think you're gonna read the preview journal at some point, or go to the website or the YouTube channel to learn more about the research. Definitely that will be something I will do on my own end, on the side on my own. But we can also discuss more about if you think climate change and pollution rates are going to really impact the survival of the species, which it could be hard for them to adapt fast enough to these constant changes that can make it really difficult for them to, withstand really high temperatures in the water and pollution too high of a rate in the ocean because it's being too polluted. It could be hard for them to even breathe and move around. But let me know what you guys think about that too. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Watch this TikTok files on TikTok, and you can support us on Patreon. All right, guys, have a good night.